Hello, Free Enterprise fans from around the world. Welcome to twitch.tv/Free Enterprise for tonight's race. This is the second weekend of the Eidolon Express Grand Prix, and tonight in Enterprise Cup action, we are bringing you the Tsunami Open Async. What that means is this particular race is being run by all 43 participants in the Eidolon Express Grand Prix. So if you are tuning in live and you have yet to run this Tsunami Open Async, we're going to respectfully ask that you maybe come back and watch this one on YouTube in a little bit. This one is going to be the same race that gets run. Walking us through this tonight, we've got Beauty and Discovery in the Restream booth, pressing all the buttons, making sure that everything works. Narrowcat is tracking for us, going to light up all those beautiful lights in front of you. And I'm joined in the booth by the incredible Firebird Lover. FBL, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm not usually called incredible, so it's a great day.
Hey, I call it how I see it. FBL, do you want to walk us through the runners tonight?
Sure thing. This is going to be a case of old versus new. Couch has been here longer than I have and is one of the OGs of the FE community. They haven't been around in a while, but coming back in this tournament to show off what the OGs can do. Whereas Wrexsoul's pretty new, but has very quickly shown how well he can adapt to our community. He's a good runner, and he's taken over various roles like helping out new players get into the racing scene. So this is probably going to be two different styles of runners. So I'm very curious to see where this goes.
It's always fun to have a little bit of a storyline to the matchup. Young versus old, new versus tenured. And of course, with the Tsunami Open flag set, we've got two different potential ways to approach victory tonight. Do you want to run us through that briefly, FBL?
Sure thing. This was the most sort of ambitious of the three flag sets. The idea was to try to make two different win conditions. One, beating Zeromus, the sort of classic win condition, and the other one, just a win game based off of beating the Giant. And to make them roughly equal options. Now, due to the way the randomizer works and trying to make sure that the race could be done completed in a reasonable amount of time, it didn't actually work out to be entirely sort of 50-50 in all seeds. Across seeds, it's more about a 2-to-1 ratio between whether you're going to want to do the Z fight or whether you're going to want to do the Giant for the most optimal win condition. But still, it's not always going to be the same end condition. And I'll be honest, I'm very much hoping that what we see is that the runners diverge enough that one of them ends up going for the Z fight and the other one goes for the Giant.
I'm hoping for the same thing. We always love to see a little bit of divergence when we watch two incredible runners go at it. But we are off to the races. We have that Dark Knight Cecil starting with an edge, and it looks like it's the Dark Imps handing over a Legend Sword. Now, we knew that was going to be a Legend Sword. One of the things we've done is we've set the original item in this to Legend Sword. Why did we pick that option, FBL?
That had to do with trying to balance the two options. It was a decision made about halfway through the process of working out the flag set. We realized that when you had to find both the Adamant and the Legend Sword, it weighted way too much towards the Z win. By giving the Legend Sword to begin with, and Forge being required, now that reduced the number of required items that you had to find.
That makes a lot of sense, and thanks for that little peek into the design thought. So what you're seeing here, folks, is both runners have head off to Dam Cyan, and almost certainly that is because objective number 2 on your screen there is trade away the rat or pink tail. The top 3 objectives are going to be required for either path to victory. So that's either the king or the queen of the town of monsters, the rat or the pink tail, and making sure you find that adamant and forge yourself as something real nice, a super smith weapon with Kokol in the underground. After that, You can do 12 key items, drop the magma key, unlock the pass door to get the crystal, or you can beat 20 bosses and finish up the giant. That'll get you straight to win game. So really interesting, we're going to see some similarities. They've each got some of those options to run down, but certainly we are going to see a little bit different.
I have another theory on why they both went to Damsian.
Tell me.
This is Force Hook Route.
You are absolutely correct. And so that means not only do you need that hovercraft to trade a tail, you need that hovercraft to get underground. And even more, we have a new flag set available, or a new flag set, which is K Late Dark, which means the darkness crystal is going to be gated by the underground. You're not going to the moon before you get under the earth in this particular race.
Now, that was also a point of discussion when developing the flag sets. The main thing was we determined that if we let the runners go underground, or we let the runners have a chance of going to the moon before going underground, it could potentially take away all of the real challenge of having to do a hook route right off the bat. And that felt uninteresting, even if it wouldn't happen often.
Makes a lot of sense. I think that is really interesting, and I think it's, first of all, it's a great way to show off a flag, and I think the other thing is I like sequential order to things, so I'm pretty happy. Rex has gone up Mount Hobbs, found an Ogopogo gating a Yang. Couch has popped into the Antlion's lair to find a vanilla Antlion. Is this even? You gotta say it.
Well, you got to ask the Antlion, I think.
But it's not just the Antlion. We got Karate in his default location as well. So 2 scoops of vanilla for you early on, folks. I hope you... nobody out there is lactose intolerant. All right. Now, normally you're pretty happy to see Ogo early, and even the Antlion early, but I don't think our runners can truly be at ease. And why is that, FBL?
Actually, I'm not sure. Oh, speaking of vanilla, I'm not sure.
3. We have B maybe on. You want to talk about that?
Oh, I see what you were saying. Yes. And one of the new flags that we have is there are 2 new flags, but the only one that matters here, that are relevant to this kind of stuff. But the only one that matters here is B maybe. B maybe says for any boss, you might see that boss up to 2 times rather than once.
That's right. And we've shut off some of the common, even though we have B no free on, we've also shut off some of the common quote unquote free bosses, the Water Hag, Cecil, Dark Knight Cecil, Karate, the King and Queen of Eblin, and the Fabul Gauntlet. So that pretty much guarantees there's going to be a few replacement bosses in the pool. So you could see that Ogo come back somewhere way nastier. Couch has taken that Sand Ruby and head straight over to pick up, I think it was a Porum. And
no, it was a Palom.
Oh my goodness gracious. Probably want to keep. The power level of this starting party is pretty high.
Palom is particularly important in this flag set, where when you get to the underground, all of the underground chests can potentially have key items, and you really want Quake when walking through Sylph.
That's right, and Palom, often known as the Quake Kid, it gets Quake pretty much the quickest of the Black Mage options, excluding maybe a Fu. But Palom is definitely the preferred option for that approach to Iridia, that's for sure.
Sure, Fu could potentially have it the moment you find him if random chance works out that way. But Palom gets it, I think, level 17? Something really early. Oh, wait, not 17. He starts at level 10, so plus 26, somewhere in the early 20s.
It's still pretty quick, especially, again, when you compare to Iridia, the other common Black Mage option. So the runners are doing a little bit of covering each other's footsteps here. Rex is going to go take on his Vanilla Antlion, and Couch is going to go take on their non-Vanilla Ogopogo to pick up their Vanilla Yang. So seeing a little bit of back and forth here. I have to think Rex is going to do the exact same thing and head on out to pick up that Palom as well. If you get a Sand Ruby early, you make... You break it, I guess?
I guess you turn it into the cure.
Yeah, it's not quite explained what happens there. That's okay. That's okay. All
Also,
right,
I think
folks.
Couch has determined that Yang is going to be his anchor because that was a kamikaze.
Hey, I would think you are probably not consider either anchor or not considering Young to be part of your long-term strategies, especially in a party with an edge in a DKC. That you are going to have more power than he can provide, especially early on. Yeah, it looks like Rex is going to head on over to Kaipo. Couch heading on to Fabul.
One of the things that makes this particular flag set stand out compared to previous tournaments where we've had a force hook route is I believe this is the first one that ensures that you will have 5 characters before you hit the hook route. In many of the previous tournaments where hook route was forced, you could end up with 4 or even 3 characters and have a really scary hook route. You will always have 5. They may not be the best 5, but you will have 5.
Now that's if you check all the locations, right?
Yes,
Obviously, yeah.
that assumes you do Baron in and that you do Hobbs.
Looks like we've got a couple D-Lunars hanging out at Fabul with that powerful flame spell from Edge. Sorry, Jeff. All characters on Couch's side are called Jeff, but with that powerful flame, yeah, there we go. So, folks, something you're going to see as you watch is next to the experience points totals from these monsters, you are going to see a modifier. And one of the things we've done in the alpha version, the 5.0.0.3 alpha version of Free Enterprise that this tournament is running on, is we've introduced the ability to manipulate experience beyond the traditional 10 key item bonus. In this particular flag set, the Tsunami Open, you are going to get a 12.5% experience boost for completing any of the objectives on your screen. And that includes the other side of like the King or Queen, Rat or Pinktail, and a 5% experience point bonus for doing a key item check. This caps out in this particular flag set at a maximum of 300% experience bump. So that'll help those runners really get those levels they need. Experience points manipulation is a really, really interesting thing that the new build has introduced, and I think it's made these races a lot more exciting.
One of the things you may see some of the runners do, assuming they find the appropriate items, but I know it's happened in plenty of practice seeds, is some runners will open the pass door or drop the magma key down the well earlier than they need to, just because it gives the experience boost.
That's right. It really does. The old adage is do your objectives, but when your objectives are not just worth a light on the screen, they're also worth 12.5% experience. It's really does give you the onus to do it. Experience is everything in a lot of ways. We've got our runners heading on up Mount Ordeals at this point. Obviously, you want to get that Cecil online. And there's a bunch of bosses in the way here as well. With that 20 boss object on the screen, I think that really incentivizes it.
It will depend, I think, on whether they get the Darkness Crystal early, but if you've done it, it makes getting to that 20 a lot faster. Something I just noticed while we were talking about something else, Couch got a package, so they potentially have access to yet another character.
Yeah, that's right. That package was in Fabul, I believe. Rex is through the Dark Elf that is gating the right side of the bridge and rushes on through for a Sparkle, and it's going to be a Pale Dim. Okay.
Depending on the timing of how quickly Couch goes through the... Yep, we're about to get basically mirror image dragons on the screen.
Oh my goodness. It's I'm seeing double 4 dragons.
4.
So yeah, both runners are going to be heading up here. They're going to get their Cecils. And yeah, Cecil's the big incentive here, obviously. We'll see what the item is. Darkness Crystal is not going to show up here. We know that. This is not gated through the underground in some weird, fantastic way. They are looking for the hook, though. The hook is going to be how they get where they need to go. Now, folks, you might have heard us talking about the alpha build of Free Enterprise. You might be thinking to yourself, what does that even mean? So Free Enterprise has been around for a while. We put out several iterative options, and this is the newest and biggest. If you're having a great time and you want to play one of these seeds, you can head over to ff4fe.com. You can join our Discord, which is also available at that website, and I believe is going to show up in the chat right now. And you can see the wiki on that website as well. The flags are available on our Discord. You can roll one up, have a great time playing through it, just like these runners are right now.
And we see pretty much identical fights going on.
It's both runners working their way through the Pale Dim. Oh. Couch gets through it faster than Rex. So Rex is the first one in, but Couch is the first one out.
I missed what Couch did. I'm assuming they darted something. That's my best guess.
I think there was a dart in there. This, like, Pale Dim, if you're not doing a lot of damage, Pale Dim can really take up time. All those dutes. Now, Pale Dim's done for Rex. Couch is going to save up and go check the mirror room. This is not a hero seed, so you're going to get access to your full party once you're in with the mirrors.
Couch is also very aggressive when it comes to moving from boss to boss. I know in at least one practice seed, it cost them several minutes, like in the tens of minutes, by not saving. So I think they learned their lesson a little bit on that, but very aggressive. And I think we'll see.
Yeah. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense, but in this case, it's a Baigan. I can't see this taking too long. Not a lot of hit points in this spot here.
1,000.
The reward for this is going to be the hook, which means our runners are going to be able to head on underground at their leisure. I would usually expect around this point in time, we would see them attempt some of the monster chests in Fabul looking for a more powerful weapon, but I'm curious what you think they're going to do.
I don't know. It depends how comfortable they feel with their party. I could easily see either one of them at least. Neither of them have even looked in Baron Inn, so they may want to at least see if there's a party member there worth looking at. Couch has that package and may want to look there. And then there's the hook route character. So I think both runners will at least try to get their 5th character before trying to push for more experience. Also, it kind of depends on how well they understand the flags. So one of the flags that we have on is T Miab Pro. So that means that all of the Miabs this one just has T Pro, I think.
Yeah.
Now I'm forgetting. Okay, this one just has T Pro. So yes, the other flag sets have T Miab Pro. The important thing is that those are going to be pro Miabs. So the rewards are going to be meh.
That's very, very true.
Yeah, and Couch is doing exactly what I expected. At least going to check to see if they want this character.
It's an Edward. Do you want an Edward? I guess Couch is going to consider it, it looks like. Yeah, I was thinking about the package possibility, and what character are you willing to sit through the full package check for at this stage of the game?
Probably a Fu.
Yeah.
Rosa. Definitely a Rosa.
Okay, that makes sense. There's our second Ogopogo, so now Couch can rest easy, knowing there's not going to be any Canadian Danger Noodles in their future anymore, that is. Something else that Couch did while we were chatting was fired that Dwarf Axe onto the Cecil, which back rows Couch's Paladin. For those who aren't aware, in the original Final Fantasy IV, if a character equipped a back row weapon, gaining the back row flag, that flag could never be removed. Because this was a perfect programming decision and absolutely not a glitch, we've chosen to make it an option to continue in Free Enterprise.
Though we call it a glitch because we're not polite.
We're not polite. But we all know it's what the developers truly intended. That Dr. Lugay shouldn't be too much of a problem for this party.
Yeah, I think our Cecil is still very poorly equipped. Actually, to be fair, everyone's very poorly equipped, but
yeah, with T-Pro on, we're not finding a lot of great treasure early on.
Except there's an Artemis poison on Wrexsoul's side.
Okay, well, it's not bad.
I'll take back the poorly equipped.
Not bad at all.
I feel guilty for dissing poor Cecil.
So the runners are going to get out of Baron in pretty close, maybe about 45 seconds behind for Rex. But Couch has done Fabool and picked up a package. Doesn't look like Couch is going to go check to see which character is hanging out in Kaipo, or would be hanging out in the Kaipo Inn, and is going to head on down slowly to Eidolon.
Couch is a little bit lost, unfortunately. This is what happens when you haven't significantly played Free Enterprise since, if I remember correctly, what they posted, 2022.
Wow, welcome back, Couch, and honestly, putting up a really impressive performance so far.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, but not flying an airship, though. That's a little bit tougher. If you're listening back to this, Couch, I mean it absolutely in the best possible way. There's another Artemis bow for Couch hanging out in Castle Eidolon.
This is where things get a little bit exciting. One of the big differences between this flag set and the other two is the Miabs are not in their vanilla locations here. So just sort of hoping you take the right path.
Kind of hoping you get lucky, and Couch has found the first monster box, Black Cat Lamia box, which is not too far from its original position.
Ooh.
Oof, that edge getting charmed. That's going to be a challenge. Thankfully, one of the Black Cats bails Couch out pretty quickly there.
Couch does not have great equipment here.
No, that's going to make this pretty tough. If you want to avoid those blusters. Looks like Rex is going to... I think Rex is... Oh, no. Oh.
Unbelievable.
And Couch will take the reset. Thankfully,
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Oh, that was rough.
Edge got the swoon proc with the assassin dagger on Cecil.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts a lot. So that reset, Rex is into Cave Eidolon ahead again. Not up the Eidolon check, but sorry, Fabool check. Getting all of my 5-letter karate ninja style places confused. But Rex finds the Staleman chest pretty quickly,
which is also dangerous. I don't know whether he has charm arrows, which could. Oh.
Well,
okay, he's got
that edge is doing something.
I think he might have a charm claw on.
That seems likely. Looks like Couch is going to grab some ninja stars. Always nice to have something to throw, and that'll definitely take care of a few of these more powerful monsters.
And Couch is very fond of darting. I know that.
I love throwing things. It's one of my favorite things to do in Free Enterprise or Final Fantasy IV in general.
It's very interesting to see that the edge for Wrexsoul is honestly very poorly equipped and yet has the perfect equipment for this fight.
Sometimes you just get a little lucky with your equipment when you're doing the best you can. And I think it was a flame whip, so the reward is not great here, but getting a bunch of levels on the Cecil I think will help. Now, if Rex is gonna not quite looting the whole place out, another Charm Claw, handy dandy. And folks, we want to welcome the crew from Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. Thank you so much for the raid. We hope that you had a wonderful race to watch over there. Just a reminder, if you are someone participating in the Eidolon Express Grand Prix, this is the official Tsunami Open Async for the first round, the Enterprise Cup. So if you are someone who's yet to run that, we respectfully ask that you wait to watch VOD after you've posted your own time. Oh, Silkweb for Couch. Always nice to have one of those. Oh, and there's a Foo for Rex. Wow, that might help a little bit.
Now that's gonna make a difference. I mean, you already have a caster, but you don't have a white caster yet, so that's important. And pretty much anything's better than a spoonless bard, so.
Yeah, no, although we do have the ability to equip the spoon on in this flag set, I would think we are not going to keep Edward. Oh, Rex. Oh, you beauty. Making me wrong on stream immediately. Grabs a ninja sword, too. That's not a bad haul, I think.
It's a lot better than a Charm Claw, except to fight these ogres with that. I'm almost certain Rex is going to try to go find, but...
Yeah, it feels like Rex is...
I don't know what Rex is doing.
Where are you going, Rex?
Rex is going to fight bosses to try to pad out Foo's spells.
That makes a lot of sense. And, I mean, it's not just that. It's an objective, too. So, even though you might not be thinking that's the path you want to take, it's still an objective. You know, if you... Oh, the laughing man.
You might want to choose a different plan.
It looks like he's going to stick with it. Dropping the Edward looks like Edward's going to have the privilege of anchoring. Now, folks, for those of you who just joined, we're going to go very, very quickly over these objectives again, because you're going to see a lot of them in front of you. In the Tsunami Open, one of the 3 flag sets for the Eidolon Express Grand Prix, there are 2 paths to victory. Both paths, you have to do the top 3 objectives. Defeat the king or queen of the town of monsters, trade away the rat or pink tail, and you have to forge the legend sword with the adamant. We give the runners the legend swords to start. Path 1 to victory includes all 3 of those, 12 key items, dropping the magma key into the Agate Well and unlocking the pass door to get the crystal and fight Zeromus. But the other way to do it is to do those top 3, defeat 20 bosses, and complete the entire giant. That'll get you an instant win. FBL, who helped design the flags, explained earlier, that's roughly equal in terms of effort. So our runners have 2 options to get through this. Now, Rex is just getting through that Golbez opening. Meanwhile, Couch has found the 4 Mad Ogre chest and is throwing some coffins at them.
I was wondering if they had bought coffins when they went to the shop. I didn't catch it, so.
I saw some ninja stars, but yeah.
You know what neither runner has done?
Tell me.
Looked at Foo's spell. Oh, hello.
Oh, it's go time for Rex, I think, and obviously for Couch too. Once they take a peek.
That was Nuke and Quake.
So 26 minutes into the seed, we have a nuke caster. Everything is good and normal. Yeah, I think Rex had Rex looked at the spell list first, probably would not have taken that little diversion.
Now Couch is just trying to get everyone up so they get experience. That'll help.
It's a good amount of experience, those Mad Ogres. I didn't see if Couch was life glitching.
Very much so.
Oh,
Everyone
perfect.
got life glitched.
Why don't you go ahead and explain the life glitch? That way, anyone who doesn't know what it is can understand what we're saying.
Okay, so because this is a very well-programmed game, all of the enemies in this game have a vitality score of 0. What this means is, why this is important is because your vitality score times 5 is how much hit points you get back when you are brought back from with a life spell or a life potions. So you can target the space where an enemy is with a life potion before they have disappeared off the screen from being killed. The life potion will then activate in that spot. You'll try to bring the enemy back to life with 0 hit points, at which point they immediately die again. The end result of this is that you effectively killed them twice as far as experience is concerned. So the last one you can't do that trick with because that ends the encounter, but every other one, at least as long as it's not undead, yeah, you can grab double experience with them.
Thank you for the excellent explanation. Meanwhile, Couch has picked up a cursed ring and put it on the swooned Cecil in the center spot. So, folks, that's going to be for the purpose of manipulating agility. And that is a complex explanation that I am going to also leave to FPL.
No.
Oh, you want me to do this one?
I'll give you the basic explanation, but I am not going to go for the complex.
Oh, no, we don't do the complex explanation on screen. Essentially, the speed at which monsters act and the amount of turns you get is a function of the center character's agility, or in a hero game, the hero's agility. In the original game, it was Cecil's agility. And essentially, the lower your agility later on in the game, the better. There's an excellent video by Tall Grant on his YouTube channel that I've always watched and gone, that makes sense, and then forgotten kind of what it said every time. But if you are really interested in learning about agility, I recommend you check that one out, folks. But essentially, early game, you want fast anchor, which means high agility in the center slot, and later game, you want low agility in the center slot to help you get lots and lots of actions.
And in something I don't know that I've ever seen, but it's not necessarily Couch just learned one of our flags.
That's right.
One of our flags is no free bosses. I'm sorry, Couch, you cannot coffin the guards.
That's right. So some bosses that could be easily defeated by a coffin or a stone spell or other methods that you would use on regular enemies, that no longer works. You've got to take down their hit points. We've turned off some of those bosses, but not all of them. And one of the bosses that's still in the pool that you can normally take down that way is the Baron Guards. So, you know what? I think a nuke will work, though.
Oh, yeah. They are always weak to nuke.
Anyone's weak to nuke. It's just the way of things.
And Couch still has ninja stars left, so this is going to be another solid chunk of damage.
Yeah, yep. There's a good amount of hit points in this spot, even split 2 ways, but the good old-fashioned hitting things until they stop moving should take care of it.
Smart enough to realize that a tiny ninja is not what you want, so throwing a heal potion.
Oof, and down goes the center Jeff, which I think is a Cecil.
I don't think they care. Couch has been leaving the dwarf axe on Jeff. Intentionally let Jeff be the person who was unconscious when they got experience from the ogres. I think Couch has decided that Jeff is the anchor.
That's fascinating to me because normally I mean, if there's any character to be an anchor in that party, I would not have selected a Cecil. And normally I'd think maybe setting up for a slingshot later and just going to overpower Cecil. But maybe thinking, I haven't found a nice fancy stick yet. Why bother? Looks like that got out of hand for Couch. Ooh.
Yeah, like I said, Couch is very aggressive with I think I'm not sure what exactly fell apart. I think the main thing they wanted to do was to focus fire more on a single guard rather than trying to split the damage, because...
Yeah, I think you're right. You hit the nail on the head there. FBL looks like spreading the damage out, trying to get a little too cute with it. When what they need to do is reduce the amount of attacks coming into the party, especially once enough pigs and minis got thrown on them. Rex is using Quake, so also spreading that damage out. We'll see if Rex has better luck.
The interesting thing at this location is the magic attack value is somewhat low. I wouldn't call it trivial, but it's low enough that sometimes these piggies and these sizes miss.
Unfortunately for Rex, they haven't yet, and Rex's edge goes down with a mini just punched combination. Yeah, Rex is also spreading that damage around. The Cecil's hit the bottom. Nuke on the top. We'll see if that pays off.
Yeah, I mean, now the Quake from Palom, if I say Jeff every time, it'll never make sense. But the Quake from Palom makes total sense. You don't have better.
No, that's Palom's best defensive spell. Let's use it. But let's focus fire one of these guards and take him down. Rex has taken one down. His party's still functioning. Cecil has been able to block at least one of those physical attacks. And is... there we go. Rex got it. Nicely done.
Yeah, I think even with the loss of that particular... there's that Quake again. That concerns me. But...
Rex just picked up Quake on his Palom. So should be well suited for what comes next. Couch still throwing ninja stars, trying to keep all the Jeffs in the fight.
Damage
FPL
might be good. I don't know.
Damar says the guy who decided to use Beano freeing this flag said is evil.
Yeah, that was Dimar.
I wonder. We're all looking for the guy who did this. All right. Second try is good. Couch gets through. Will be in the underground. About a minute behind Rex. Is still up that Fabul check. I guess technically Rex is up one Golbez. But other than that, these runners are pretty much equal.
Yeah, I'm the nice guy who argued that the guards and the officers and guard combo should be allowed to be in the set when it was stricken at one point.
How kind of you.
It's a very easy fight.
So, folks, now that we're in the underground, things have opened up quite widely. We have just added a whole bunch of monster box key item checks. We've added summon spots in the form of the King and Queen at the bottom of the Fey March, both of which are one of those top objectives. And we've added, Dwarf Castle and the top of Tower as per usual. So these monster boxes that Rex is currently hunting for, you're going to want to throw out Quakes, try to knock them all down at once. But looks like Rex didn't get that off.
So the trick to this, this is sort of a well-known trick. I don't know if Rex knows it, but the trick to it is, you want to have battle speed 3. You want to have a your caster in the top spot at RA1. And then you want to cast. And then you want to cast your sweep spell, Quake in this case, instantly.
RA1
Yeah.
meaning relative agility 1 compared to the monsters. Again, go look up that video from Tall Grant if you really want to get into the details. And, I was actually chatting with Beauty before we started streaming, before you joined. And we talked about watching these back on YouTube, which is something that I did. That's how I got really into Free Enterprise. And Beauty actually mentioned learning about that exact trick by watching a restream on YouTube. And someone said it. So I thought that's a little interesting piece there. Now, hunting these Miabs, I think, is very important because we have unweighted key items on. So normally, key items are weighted more towards the main checks. But in Tsunami Open, every key item check is worth that 5-point experience bump, which Rex is going to get a lot of here, and also worth an equal chance at finding one of the key items you need. Oof. What do you think about that Fame Arch basement?
I think that turtle looks awful. I think those dolls are one Quake to kill, which I'm not sure Couch realizes that.
Yeah, I think those dolls are pretty easy. That's your target, and you hope that darkness isn't hiding behind the turtle.
Well, it's not darkness. That's the critical thing.
Wow. The magma key.
Important, but again, darkness is the option. No, it's all about adamant. Adamant is the only required. Well, hook is too, but you had to get that to get underground.
The only remaining required key item.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Rex is really rocking through these options now, finding monster box after monster box, deploying Quake just like you said. Although in this case has found that the Pelham has run out of magic points.
That could be really bad.
Whoops, noodle.
That's
what a heads up play from Rex to throw out to fix that. Wow, well done.
Still needs to get the sweep off. They will attack in the next round if.
I think he just threw out a cure from the food to keep them going.
Oh, Blitz. That's not going to be enough.
On the edge. There we did. Oh. Whoa. All right. Good heads up play from Rex.
Safe. Note, Rex has also found Magma Key and Rat Tail while doing that. That is Rat Tail?
Yeah, it's Rat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
whereas Couch just found Demist.
Well, Demist is important as well because we have Kano Freon, which means normally you would pick up a item from the Edward lying in the Toria bed. But with that particular flag on, you are doing a Demist hunt. That'll let you get access to Rydia's mom and let you get a key item from her, assuming you enter the village from the right-hand side, since Couch has package in hand.
This also means that Couch choosing to do this is getting 3 key item checks done in a single dwarf castle.
That's right. We have the warp glitch on. So once again, in this perfectly programmed game, the decision was made that the crystal room that you're seeing right now in the game code is the same crystal room that shows up later when you go through the sealed cave. So by using the warp spell back in the throne room, you'll return to the crystal room. It'll give you the script for the crystal room from the sealed cave and let you pick up that particular option. The character is a Kane, but Couch says, "No thanks, Kane. I don't need to jump on people. I've got everything I need."
And Wrexsoul's just run into the most heinous boss in the game.
The inventory boss, I'm assuming?
The inventory boss.
I was looking at the other side of the screen. You gotta loot. You gotta loot in this one. You're looking for that pass, and we have T-Pass on, which means there's 3 passes hiding in regular treasure chests. So you got to open boxes if you're going to try to fight Zeromus.
You gotta loot, but you also want to use that R button just a little bit, otherwise you're spending time on a... Oh, interesting.
So
Wrexsoul
Brandingham.
missed the 2 boxes at the entrance.
Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, I don't think Rex has found all the chests yet down here, all the monster chests. Continuing to look for them. It's a tower key, and Couch I don't think Couch did the warp glitch.
Couch did not do the warp glitch.
Oh no. Hopefully that's not something that's going to impact their game. Rob says saying Rex found a pass while looting, so good for Rex. Wow.
That is.
Looks
Thank
like we're
you.
going to go. Yeah, thanks, Rex. Thanks, Rob Sat, for keeping an eye on that. It is a lot flying back and forth here.
Also, unlike key item checks, it's much harder to notice when a pass just sort of appears from a chest.
Exactly. Twin Harp. Uh-oh. And a Luca key for Couch. Okay. Well, that Luca key feels unfortunate, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Hopefully it won't matter.
We can hope.
There is... Unless Adamant happens to fall on a specific check, one of the big advantages of... Actually, of all 3 flag sets, but definitely of this one, is that usually there is more than one path to actually finishing.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that here. The runners were pretty much in lockstep on the overworld, back and forth a little bit of variance, but they are now definitely well apart from each other. And I think that's the way this one is designed. You've got to do the overworld pretty much in a set pattern. Once you get underground, things can twist and turn. So I've been enjoying watching this, even if it means I gotta really pay attention, which I might be failing to do from time to time. So thanks to chat.
Couch is old school. I'm not entirely surprised that they are primarily doing main checks.
Yeah, the pull to do K main, it's real. If that's what you're used to, it's a real thing. It looks like Rex is going to go pop into the Fame Arch now. Couch doing the bearing checks. Okay.
Yeah, K-Miab has existed for well before the 5.0 Alpha, but it was not a particularly popular flag in tournaments back in the day.
Bearing key would have been the Fame Arch freebie, I think.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Okay. So again, these Dark Imps, normally you'd be able to just drop a coffin on them or a stone. Won't be much of a challenge. This spot doesn't have enough hit points to worry about when you've got a powered up Foo and a Quake Kid. But they will have to go through the motions, unlike in a regular flag set.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure Quake is faster than trying to use 3 coffins anyway, so...
Yeah, there we go. Looks like Rex is also looting pretty aggressively here, hunting for that warrior's chest that will also include a key item peak. Let's see who the real King of Baron is. What's a sparkle? We know it won't be an Ogopogo.
Well, that's nice. That's less nice.
Well, the good news is we have B Chaos Burn on, which means each Wyvern will have a unique replacement for Mega Nuke. So this might not be that bad, maybe. It certainly won't be if... Oh, it's a week. Whew.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out why Yang is doing so little damage every time he punches. I guess part of the problem seems to be that he's wearing a Charm Claw, and that's going to affect his accuracy. But just Rex just doing so little damage. Is he wearing 2 claws? Is he got the cursed ring on? What is wrong with that poor guy?
I think the curse ring's still on Cecil. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. All right, the Foo is at full power. It's a Tella. Geez, I just can't see you taking a Tella.
I'm sorry, we have Tella at home.
Yeah. Tella is Foo at home. That's what that is. Whew. Rex is cleaning up that inventory. I would think Rex is going to take... Ooh, an Avenger. Wow. Where'd you find that, Rex? Must be in the Sylph Cave somewhere. I would think Rex is going to go take on at least the dolls.
I didn't see Rex grab it, but from what little memory I have of actually having played this seed, I think I know where. Yeah,
Ooh.
Kyros has it. That's what
Warrior's chest. There we go. I knew it would be in one of those chests.
Tella is Tella home. Yes.
So Couch, having found the Earth Crystal in the Baron trash can, is going to go do that right away, or going to go check the treasury. I guess the lure of the treasury, it's tough. It's tough to avoid, isn't it?
Again, this is something of an old school mindset. Treasury's not great. It's not going to be terrible. It's not great in this flag set, but
Well, if you're still pass hunting, I think there is a logic here. Might not be Murasame, Power Shirt, Excalibur.
Forget I said anything. Past treasury was amazing. Best treasury ever. 10 out of 10.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. What do you know, FBL? You just designed the flag set.
It's T-Pro, right? It's T-Pro.
Is this T-Pro turned on? Yeah, really, really good treasury. Couch is going to pick up a lot of power there. I'm not sure why Couch is here. I think Couch has forgotten a little bit about having hunted the D-Mist.
Couch has been practicing Zen Tetsuken a lot.
That makes sense. All right, Rex is taking on the dolls. Let's see what happens here. Rex thinks about using an item and says, no. We'll just use Quake.
Yeah, this is yet another case of good agility management. That's a fast. What did Rex just reset?
I think Rex reset out because he doesn't want the Eddie to get experience.
Oh, okay. That's not a huge time loss. But yeah, you have a very fast. So yeah, you need to switch up Hallam. No, that was not what you wanted to do, Rex. But okay. Yeah, you have a very fast Palom who starts casting Quake. Then each of the enemies enters the queue, and entering the queue takes basically a tick. And by the time that queued up, they all enter the queued up Quake happens.
Flame Dog had the Masamune. I mean, no one's going to check Flame Dog in this flag set early, but knowing it's there, I would be like, oh, man.
That's a really well-equipped edge.
Yeah, that's... Couch has got the power now. Rex has got a decent amount, but... Oh! Rex finds the adamant.
Rex is in go mode.
Yeah, all Rex has to do now is, well, decide he's ready to fight Zeromus.
Well, and find 12 key items. That is the part about go mode, which is true, but simultaneously not true.
Rex will be in go mode once he finds 4 more key items. We know there's at least one of them waiting in, maybe 2 with the warp glitch. We know the Baron key leads to 1. 3 more because the adamant's not lit up yet there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rex has got a path, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think Dwarf Castle had 1, and there was 1 on the D-Mist that was in Dwarf Castle, so that's 2. Baron Key got 1. Yeah. That's though the Rat Tail's just sitting there begging to be turned in.
Yeah, Dwarf Castle has much of what Rex needs. Rat Tail could have it. There's still 4 chests to do in the tower. Lots of options here. We'll see what Rex chooses to do. Crystal rings, not bad. Thor hammer, not as useful, I think, for Rex. I don't even know if you can throw it.
No, a Thor hammer is... You either have Sid or it's useless.
Oh. Womp womp. That's okay.
Now, if you have a Sid, I don't care if you were planning to use that Sid as an anchor, give him the Thor hammer and go to town, because oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've done that before. Thor hammer, Sid, your time has come.
6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. Turning in the Rat Tail. Always do your objectives. Good job, Rex.
Especially in this flag set where your objectives are worth more experience. Second Lugae will show up at the Valvalis spot in the Tower of Zot. That rhymed. Rat Tail, let's see. What do we got?
Well, if I remember right, we have a Masamune Murasame Edge and a Excalibur Cecil, so yeah, sorry, Lugae, you're in trouble.
When Rex turned that in, it just went Objective A, Objective B, Objective C, all done.
Yep.
Pretty good.
And all of those are giving 12.5 experience.
Yeah, quite worth it there for Rex, I think. Okay.
Rex bought the defense sword that was for sale in the Coco shop. Not surprising, having seen basically no good equipment for Cecil so far.
Yeah, not that an Avenger is bad, but that's about it. Definitely Couch has the advantage on power, but Rex has got the route to get to Zeromus here. It's going to be interesting. Oh, crystal rings. Picked up some crystal rings. Got a strength ring. Yeah, that'll help a lot.
Also for sale in the shop.
Yeah.
There's a crystal ring from completing Zot. Not what Couch wanted to see.
No, absolutely not. That's a long string of checks to zonk out on.
That all said, what could get Couch back in this game real fast would be finding the Darkness Crystal somewhere. Also obviously having to beat the Queen, but Couch has to be very close to that 20 bosses at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let me pull up the tracker here and take a peek. Yeah, pretty close. Couple away, I think. All right. Rex is going to pick up his package. Couch is heading up the lower Babel, going to pick up those alert checks. Now, we know the Magma Key is not going to be here, but Darkness could be. That'll be interesting.
Tossing some darts in the face, though I don't think they have to. I think
that Edge should be able to drop it.
Yeah, I think Edge has the power to just do it on an attack. It could be close. I forget whether Edge is wearing a power shirt at this point.
Meerkat is saying 16 out of 20 if his count is correct, which it might not be. But 16 out of 20 means you really only need to be at 18 if you're going to head to the giant. 2 bosses up there.
Has the tower key, so that those 2 bosses could be right here.
There it is. There it is, Darkness Crystal.
Just Couch needs to go to that. Needs to go to Fame March as soon as possible. Needs to do that objective.
Yep, that's right. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, we have ourselves a little bit of a race going on now. Let's see what happens next with Couch.
Wrexsoul is still 2 key items short.
Looks like Couch is going to finish looting out the whole tower, throwing some more Drain Swords. Guess you don't really need them. Ooh, Rex is heading to tower. Now, Rex is doing keyless tower, but we'll get that Darkness Crystal as well. But I don't think that's going to, other than adding a key item to his count, that's probably not going to affect his trajectory here.
Now, Couch has a pass. That won't affect Wrexsoul. An extra pass, that doesn't count as 2 key items. Only the first one counts.
Yeah, and I have to think at this point, we are not going to see Couch go find that Magma Key unless they get extremely desperate. Certainly, if that's the path Couch chooses, it's probably game over.
Ooh,
oh
just
no!
missed on that dart.
Oof. Yeah, I would think an edge, one punch from that edge. Yeah, if Rex's Cecil could drop it, I think that edge can do it all day long.
Yeah, I don't know what the equipment difference is. Well, that Cecil attack would not have taken out the from, and Couch's, that's a pan, so that's 2 key items in this tower.
Yeah, so that's probably puts Rex back in the driver's seat here, unless Rex is really worried about power levels and feels like he has to grind or bounces off of the Zeromus once or twice. I think Rex is worried about a grind, stealing some sirens.
That's not surprising. That explains. That's a good explanation for why Rex specifically went here. Unfortunately, that stop spell doesn't really do much meaningful. It'll stop the alert for a couple seconds, but it's not a long stop.
Yeah, but doesn't it? I think it lowers Alert's ability to block the sneak, though.
Maybe, I don't know. I thought the main purpose of it was just to keep the messages from appearing on the screen.
Oh well. Hey, every second counts.
What Couch needs to do now, especially because this boss gets Couch to 17. Couch needs, and this is an easy boss. Couch needs to beat this boss, turn around, go straight to the Fame Arch, get the 18th boss,
and then
go
hit
to the
immediately.
giant.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope
go to the Forge and go to the giant.
I hope that's what Couch has been kind of counting for. Knows that they're at 18 or almost to 18. We'll see. It's definitely going to be an interesting race. But it's all down to Couch's decision making here. They didn't do the super cannon room, did they?
Not on the way up.
I mean, you're still looking for the adamant rock. I wonder if they're going to take it on the way down. Boy, this has been really interesting, and I think again this is a really interesting way to showcase the different decision-making routes that are available to runners in this flag set. So, a really fun showcase here. Couch is through that Bahamut, no challenge. Rex still working on getting those alerts taken care of. It's a fire bomb for the reward.
Woot!
Oh boy. We all love a good firebomb.
This is where Couch is looking at their objectives. I hope what they saw there was, oh, I need to defeat either the king or queen. I really hope.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed something. Couch doesn't have a tail.
Oh wow, is the rat tail? That was that in? It's been forever. Hold on, let me look. Yeah, rat tail was in the Sylph Cave. So,
All right, so Couch needs this to be a tail.
Needs a pink tail here.
We know it's not in the queen. Nobody wants to fight that king. You couldn't convince me to fight that king as anything but a last location check.
Now, Couch does have the pan, so there are checks there available. Rex is
In go mode and knows it.
Yeah. Rex has got.
Rex has got the pan. Rex is at 12.
Yeah, Rex has got 12, so that's Rex is going to be heading to turn in that pass door, I think, and then probably going to scramble some eggs on the way up, I think. Yeah, there he goes. Oh boy, hoping for a pink tail for Couch here.
Doesn't like the peninsula, goes to the strip on the left.
I've never understood the difference.
There basically isn't. So the map is laid out where basically somebody just made a rectangle and said everything in this rectangle is this area in terms of monsters, and that rectangle happens to include both the peninsula and the area on the left. That's all.
I just wonder why some runners don't bother with the peninsula, because it is closer.
Well,
Oh.
some people may not be fully aware of it. Some people may be worried that they're off by a step, because not the entire peninsula. If you're too high up in the peninsula, you end up in a different area, and your science would hit the wrong thing.
That is very true. It could be Jay Brown. It could just be Cozy. All right, let's see here. It is the protect ring for Couch, so that is not what they were looking for. I think they're going to go. We'll see if they hunt for key items, or if they're going to just go turn in the pan.
Skip those two chests on the right. I'd say this is a pan run.
This is a pan check. That's 3 shots at a pink tail. We know that's what Couch needs. But it's starting to look a little bit more like this is Rex's game at this point. Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat. I don't know about you.
I got too comfy a seat. I'm just sitting way back in it.
I mean, okay, I am reclining in my nice, expensive office chair. But look, metaphorically, I'm on the edge of my seat.
I'm loving this.
There's a spoon. 12 key items for Couch.
Which probably won't matter.
Probably won't matter, but...
Like, everything says Couch has 0 interest in doing the Sylph cave. And I can't blame them.
No. If you've decided to fade it at this point, I completely understand committing to the fade. It is a lot of time digging through chests, a lot of time dealing with, finicky monster box encounters, I would say is the best way to put it.
Wrexsoul had to reset because of one of them.
That's right. Yeah, Rex took a reset. Looks like Rex probably has finished up his grind. What's Sheila got? A Gungnir spear.
And nothing. Wait.
No, I don't think Couch turned it in successfully.
No, wait, Couch didn't turn in the pan.
Yeah, I think Couch just
misclicked.
I think it was a misclick and didn't realize. Oh no! Oh. Disaster.
Oh,
possibly. I don't know. Oh, no turn in.
Oh man. Will Couch even notice?
I have to think Couch is not going to notice that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to head... What's the plan here, Couch?
Oh.
Just
Something
checking shocks, I
shocking.
guess. All right. Pass has been turned in. Rex is going to get his crystal. And is going to go fight Zeromus, chat. There's something you're supposed to do. I want to see some Z flags. Come on.
So 1650. We have the crystal and are walking in.
There we go. Thank you, Damar. FPL, we're seeing some Z flags in chat. Do you want to tell me what that's all about?
So Zeromus is an extremely complicated boss. So complicated that we can't move him to any other location. It would make for a very unfun play experience. Instead, we've had some very impressive artists over the years, primarily one, but a couple of impressive artists over the years, who've just made new Z sprites. So instead of moving Z or changing his the way he works, we just make him look different after the crystal is thrown at him. So the question comes down to Veritas.
Folks, whose butt are we going to kick tonight? We'll find out in just one moment. And I mean, this pool is massive. I think it's over 700 in the 5.0.0.3 alpha build. And I've seen some incredible stuff that's had me laughing. We don't want to get too much into spoilers, but there's some cool stuff in there.
Ah, a classic.
Wow, I don't know what this is.
This is Bavmorda from the movie and video game Willow.
Oh my goodness gracious! So it is. Wow.
I am particularly fond of this video, of the movie, because it happened to come out, be released in theaters on my birthday. I won't say which one for modesty reasons. But it was released on my birthday, and I was very excited about that. So I've always loved Willow, and I played the video game as a kid. Well,
hey, nothing wrong with that. Okay, so we're in the middle of the Zeromus fight. While that's happening, Couch is checking the Sylph Cave. We'll find the Magma Key and the Rat Tail. We will see if Couch, after that, chooses to go take on the dolls. We know that blocks the Adamant, which is required. But over on Rex's side, Rex is getting his physical characters berserked up and is currently working on bouncing some spells off of Cecil. What is up with that, FBL?
part of the Zeromus script. One of the nasty things, if you ever play the vanilla Final Fantasy IV, if you directly cast a spell at Zeromus, well, if you directly cast most spells of Zeromus, there's a few exceptions to this, but if you directly cast a spell at Zeromus, Zeromus will respond by nuking one of your people. It's a counter script. I say most spells because it's even worse if you cast white on Zeromus. Don't do that.
Wait. What does Zeromus do if you direct cast white onto him?
Direct cast white ends up with it's not called tornado, it's called, and I can't remember the exact name of it, but short version, everybody's suddenly weak. A storm, thank you. Here it has it, storm. It's weak on everyone.
Oh, that sounds terrible to me. So Rex is firing those nukes. The physical characters are throwing out their attacks. Meanwhile, Couch is working on the Toad Lady, quaking her down, no problem. Yeah, those characters doing okay
Couch
damage.
Found the Rat Tail and the Magma Key. Don't know that that'll help. Still chasing this Adamant. Gonna... They're gonna hate when they find it.
So it looks like Rex just tried to nerf an upcoming Big Bang. I think we saw a counter nuke. For those who don't know, by hitting Zeromus at the exact right moment, he'll lower his magic power to do a counter nuke, and then keep that magic power for the next Big Bang cycle. If you do it too early, he resets to full power. If you do it too late, well, it doesn't really help you very much. Okay.
Yeah, the Zeromus script. No, that's just a normal shake. The Zeromus script is just particularly rude for vanilla FF because you don't know what's going to happen, and it discourages you from doing some things that your party seems designed to do.
Yeah, the Zeromus script is nasty, and unless you really know how to defeat it, you just have to go get a boatload of levels. And I'll be honest with you, when I replayed Final Fantasy IV for the Pixel Remaster, because they've changed a lot of this stuff, I went in with all of my free enterprise knowledge on agility manipulation and counter scripts and all this stuff, and nope, no dice. But speaking of, Rex has got it. GG's to Wrexsoul.
We should get an official time here. Yep, 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 45 seconds. That is a very good time for this particular flag set. I do know how it stands among all the other people who have finished so far, but I won't say, just to sort of keep that from spreading around. But like I said, for this flag set, it is a very good time.
Yeah, well done, Rex. That was a really well-run seed. I really liked the execution of hunting those chests in the Sylph Cave, and then just doing kind of the logical follow-ups to get where he needed to be. So really well done. Really happy. Really happy to see Rex take that one out. Couch still working in the Sylph Cave. I guess we'll see if... and there, I was just about to say, I guess we'll see if Rex will join us for an interview in a moment, but... Here he is. Congratulations, Rex GG's, on a very strong time.
Oh my god, I'm shaking.
I bet.
Yeah.
How you feeling? Walk me through the emotions after that one.
Well, I will tell you, I've struggled all week on this flag set, and I came in all honesty, in very, very low confidence. And I was actually worried when I saw Cecil as the starting character, because I knew if he was paired with a weak partner, that could make the beginning of the seed very difficult. So I saw Edge, and I was like, well, we're going to try something different and try to go through the overworld as fast as we can. So I usually go to Eidolon first. I just flat out skipped it. Almost did a couple of wipes there early on, but once I saw Foo's at the hook route, I was like, okay, I can do this. Now I messed up. I should have went ahead and checked his spells before I left the hook route, but I was like so panicked. I was like, oh wait, I've got him. I gotta make sure he has the stuff. And the last 3 or 4 seeds I've had Foo, he hasn't gotten Nuke or Quake until like 1800 health. So yeah.
We did notice that at the time. We did comment, Rex is going to go power up his Foo, and then when you pulled up the spell list, we were like, Rex is probably not going to bother powering up that Foo anymore.
No.
Walk me through the Sylph Cave. What was the decision when you got underground? Did you always know you're going for Sylph right away, or was it going to depend on what you had in hand when you got there? And setting up for those monster boxes.
Well, I will tell you that the struggle I think the biggest struggle I had with this flag set was learning how to do Sylph Cave, because I don't do Maya boxes for key items very often, and I've been practicing this flag set and really struggling setting up the agility. So I really focused on learning how the agility works. So when I saw the curse ring, I said, well, this is going to be easy now. I just have to make sure I do it properly. Now, I didn't at first, which is why you
Yep.
saw me exit out immediately.
Yep.
Reset out. And then you probably saw my panic when I forgot to give my ethers that I bought for Palom to him, and pulled up his spell menu and saw he could not use Quake.
Yeah, actually, we saw that live, and we saw you pull it up, and we were like, uh-oh, how's Rex going to get out of this? But the Toad cast, followed up by the immediate heal from your Foo, really impressive way to take, something that was a clear challenge and clean it up. Well done.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you had me very concerned there, but you pulled it off, so.
All right.
I'm trying to catch my breath. It was it was one of those things where, like, okay, if I'm running this fast, surely Couch is running as fast. 'Cause
Yeah.
again, like this is a very strong flag set for me. So
you found the rat tail and the magma key in the Sylph Cave. What was your next thought after that?
just get enough key items, and level up. So I was really hoping to find my key items there at Football Defense and Sheila, but I obviously didn't look out there. I think one of them was a key item. But then I was like, well, I need to go get sirens anyway because I've got an edge. I can do the alerts, pick up some sirens while I'm picking up the key items, and do it that way. And then forgot to take the Avenger off of Cecil, so the first one just went bonk real quick. But yeah, it was immediately as soon as because I had the pass. As soon as I saw the magma key, I'm like, well, this is now my go mode. I just had to find out how I'm going to do this as far as leveling up quick enough.
Makes a lot of sense. We saw you grab some sirens in the tower to that, and was going for the sirens kind of your thought process in why you chose tower to look for key items?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, doing both at the same time while I'm there. I mean, the density check as far as checking for key items was tower. I mean, you had 4 checks right there. So I'm going there anyway. I've got the edge, so might as well try and sneak some sirens. So that was definitely 2 for there.
Rex, I'm going to have to ask you to just pause for a bit. We're about to have music.
Okay.
And you understand the importance of that.
I think we've got a very brief second here. So in case you're new, folks, we've randomized Edward's harp song as well. So
well, we got just about 8 seconds left. You want to guess the music, Rex?
I don't have it pulled up yet, so I can't even guess it. So
that's why we're letting you guess.
Oh, that'd be a real good guess. Let's say it's from a Final Fantasy game, one of the Final Fantasies. That's easy enough.
Okay. All right, and music is over.
All right.
It was from Super Mario Galaxy.
Sorry, Rex. It wasn't a Final Fantasy game at all. It was an advertisement for the upcoming opening of the next Super Mario movie.
Tell you what, these ads are getting ridiculous. Absolutely out of hand.
Ad integration even into randomizer communities. Nintendo, they know what they're doing. Geez, we asked you to self cave. How'd you feel about the Z fight going into it?
I would have probably well, I felt good going into it. I would have felt better had I remembered to actually count the hit points. I was so like set on making sure that I set up properly. Because the last thing I wanted to do was walk into a Z fight with this nice run going and then do something stupid at the Z fight. So I completely forgot to count hit points. I was like, and then I put the Avenger on Cecil. I was like, well, crap. I probably could have done straight reflect because Palm was doing so much damage. That way I would have to tip him. But at that point in time, I was committed, so.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, we thought it was a pretty good Z fight. No real challenges. You got through it quite expertly. How are you feeling about the tournament? Are you done all your asyncs, Rex, or you have any left to do?
Yeah, this was the last one. I saved my least favorite for last. I don't say least favorite. These were all cool flag sets. I really enjoyed the way they did, but the way my brain operates, having a choice of how to finish the seed wrecks my brain. So I chose this last, and I practiced this probably twice as much as the other two. I'm very happy that I put in a time I did, assuming it's a decent time compared to others, because while the Mega Flare Rally I thought I was going to do very well in, I stumbled quite a bit. So I did not do a great time there. Obviously, I won't tell what it was for the spoilers. But I did very well on the Xantasuken, which I felt I was going to. So the three different flag sets play very well off each other. It's three totally different experiences. The only challenge, I think, is remembering which flags are on which. So there's enough where it's alike to be dangerous, but at the same time, it's almost a must to have a list of what the flags are as you're running it. I can't imagine not having that by your side.
Always handy to have your flags at hand. FBL, anything you want to add?
No questions. I will give you a quick reminder as a event team member, actually in this case. Don't forget to actually enter your final time into the into the async.
I should probably do that. What was my final time? It was 1:12:45. Okay. Let's do that.
And a very good 1:12:45, and a good reminder from FBL to anyone out there: enter your times, folk. That's where you get credit for them. Of course, no one should be watching this if they're actually racing, unless they've already run this one. But still. All right. Well, hey Rex, GG's again. Thank you so much for joining us for the interview, and thank you for agreeing to be restreamed tonight. Well done.
Thank you to the two of you and to Naracat and Beauty, obviously behind the scenes helping out. I know it's like to go through the process. It's a lot of fun, but it's also a commitment. So I appreciate you guys doing it as well.
Once again, congratulations and thank you for interviewing.
All right, good night.
All right, while Rex was on, a few things happened. Couch went to do music, as we saw. Unfortunately, got nothing. Fought the turtle. Brave.
Got nothing.
Got nothing. Also, in the credits of Rex's game, we saw what was that Sheila 2. It was the Pinktail.
Oh no! I was trying to pay attention to it and do the interview at the same time, and oh no! Oh, and Couch, where you going? Where you going, buddy? Oh no!
Couch just ditched that summon that queen spot.
No, knowing what Couch has to do to complete this seed, I'm hurting a little right now. I have to be honest with the FBL. But that's the commentator's curse. Wait, no, that's not the commentator's curse. That's something else.
I'm sure Couch just isn't particularly familiar with this flag set and doesn't necessarily realize that that adamant is absolutely required, and that there's just very few spots left it could be. At this point, I think we're down to Luca Cave, the Queen spot, and Cave Value.
I think that's right. Oh, Barren Basement. I don't think.
Barren Basement.
Yeah.
Yep. Good call.
Couch is going to go open the pass, it looks like. I wonder if this is just kind of thinking they have it when they don't.
Yeah, I'm worried that's exactly it.
No crystal. Yeah, checking. Hopefully realizes needs to buy the adamant. Unfortunately, the route that Couch has taken just has not led to the adamant. Oh. It's a challenging one. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, they also haven't done Sheila 2. Thankfully, that's meaningless. We know it's just Pinktail. I'm not even sure Pinktail could give anything they care about. The most...
T-Pro, right? This is governed by those rules?
No, it's governed by its own special rules. I guess it could still give a crystal sword. But, I mean, Couch already has Excalibur, so it's just barely meaningful. Oh, Couch didn't do Warriors either.
Oh, you're right. Oh. Narakat has asked, can the Pinktail give adamants? And the answer is no. The no adamants flag is on for this one. Oh, sorry. No, it cannot. Pinktail, I don't think... Is Pinktail's... We don't have that flag set turned on. So Pinktail is giving an item.
Oh, no. We don't have it turned on because it doesn't exist in 5.0 Alpha. There is no key item. There is no K Pink.
Oh, that's... Man, I am getting all of my tournaments confused.
Yeah, that is a Gale Swift fork only.
So the Rat Tail gives a key item. It's a K main check. But Pinktail is going to give either the Adamant Armor or a top tier item.
Well, yeah, Pinktail gives a 7/8. It can't give Adamant Armor because no Adamant is on. In fact, the no Adamant flag is on in all 3 of the flag sets. You can just bypass in one of them.
Yeah, it's because the event team doesn't want you to have fun with an Adamant Armor, folks. So just blame them.
Hey, Mega Flare Rally exists.
All right. That'll be an Avenger for Couch by taking down the Warriors chest, if I recall correct. Yep, there it is. And hopefully Couch will now go and get their Adamant Rock. Hopefully.
It's just a...
With the amount of power in those mages, I don't even think this cabin is even close to necessary, but I suppose at this stage you probably want to make sure it gets done. So
yeah, there's no threat left here. It's find the adamant and yeah, we know it's on the Queen, which is probably the best place it can be of the remaining. So, in fact, obviously it didn't happen, but if Couch does that early tower with the tower key, gets the darkness in the pan, follows up in the pan, and gets the Pinktail by actually doing the bonk, and then goes here and fights the Queen, Couch probably could have completed this in under an hour doing the giant route.
Yeah, it's definitely on the table. Certainly a comparable time to what Rex put up was on the table at that point, but with the whiff on the hand turn in combined with, and honestly, I think Couch had the ability to take this Cal Brenna fight when they peaked it very early on.
Easily.
Yeah. I think those are the decisions that unfortunately have led to what's going to be probably closer to an hour 45.
Yeah. Couch just got the Quake one-hit kill and probably will remember that, I didn't realize Quake could just one-shot all of them. It's challenging to understand whether you can pull off or not. So it's that spot has a fair amount of hit points, 23,000. But they're split evenly between the big doll and the mini dolls. The mini dolls then, so that's 11,500 spread among the mini dolls. But it's not even. It's not 2,000 apiece. The front dolls have less than the back. So you have to be able to kill the back dolls, who are going to be probably just shy of 3,000. So that's the number you're thinking about. Do that area split damage.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but I mean, decisions get made, and that's just how the game goes sometimes.
Now, the good news for Couch, they have the levels that they don't have to worry about. Oh, do I want to pop a siren and try to get some? Just go and turn Zeromus into a puddle.
Yes, Couch has had the power since quite a ways into the seed when they looted the extremely good treasury and picked up a Murasame power shirt and an Excal. It has even more power now, having found a Masamune and an Avenger. So
and a Zeus gauntlet. That was the prize in for music.
That's a lot of power. I would think Couch is going to head right to Zeromus at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm expecting that this will be enter Zeromus fight, pop Bacchus's and or Avenger, sit back and maybe never touch the controller again.
Yeah, I would think that's about correct. And yeah, it looks like you are exactly right. Moves the Star Veils to the bottom strongly indicates we're not even going to bother with hybrid strategies.
This is power overwhelming, which is unexpected. One of the things about this particular flag set is you usually don't have power overwhelming for the Z fight. If you do a Z fight, it's usually a somewhat sketchy Z fight, which is one of the reasons the giant becomes tempting, is because you can have slightly less optimized levels and equipment in the giant usually than you can have fighting Z.
Yeah, it's going to depend on what boss you run into in a lot of ways as well. But once again, we're going to go see Zeromus as a reminder. This is a randomized sprite. We know what it's going to be. Couch is about to find out when they throw the crystal.
So this is sort of the opposite of what we were talking about earlier. When Wrexsoul fought Z, the center slot was wearing the cursed ring. It was anchored. However, this is a power overwhelming situation where the center Cecil has very high stats, and so does Yang, so does Edge. So this is a fast anchor, but fast enough that actually somewhat nerfs the speed of Z in a different way.
You're able to keep up with it despite the mathematical calculations. And just to make sure that they're keeping up, we're going to throw a silk web on them as well.
Technically not necessary when you're using berserkers, but it nerfs the first Big Bang. Up.
Hey,
And bonus.
got a lucky reflect off the Star-Veiled Palom. Very nice.
And if your hands don't have quite the same agility as young folks like like me, possibly like Couch, it does help you not lose ticks.
Virus cast from the Palom is admittedly kind of funny.
Palom's only a little bit short.
I'm helping. I'm helping.
Is short of that nuke, but only by a little bit.
That's okay. Foo's got nuke for you.
And here's what we were talking about. There's no anchor here, but Z still hasn't. Okay, finally, but hadn't thrown a Big Bang yet. There's a lot of actions before Z threw that Big Bang.
Yeah, and we're gonna just keep going and tear through that hit points pretty quickly. We're at about 12,000 for a physical run. Yeah, 10,000 per physical round, then another 7 or 8 from the magic casts. It shouldn't take too long to get through his hit point pool.
I could see Couch being a little bit safety-minded and casting one Cure 4 just to kind of top off Edge in case there's a second Big Bang, but that's about the only safety I think might be needed.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure Couch has this all sorted out, and it's just a matter of waiting for the crumble.
Yes, Palom, you're helping, we know.
Well, when you take an 8-year-old along to fight the literal incarnation of evil, what more can you really expect, right?
You think he's 8? Oh, God, if I remember right, they're like either 4 or 5, the twins. It's so ridiculous.
It's not something I've actually ever looked up, and I don't feel the need to. Coach was able to get out a Big Bang, or a Cure 4 before this Big Bang, which will not be nerfed full power. Palom will say goodnight, but the rest of the characters will continue zerking on.
Yeah. And we're going to do a safety Cure 4 here just to avoid the Wombo combo, or we're going to misclick and cast Sight. Okay, Couch needs a new controller.
There's rocks, so Zeromus is in his last 8-ish thousand hit points. Down goes the Edge, down goes the Foo.
Shouldn't matter. Should be enough attacks left, even if another Meteor comes out.
Looks like that does it. It does it.
Yeah.
Couch is through. GG's to Couch at the time of 139.54. All right. Well, that was, sometimes when you're running around and you're doing functionally grabbing every key item, it can get really discouraging. So just a big congratulations to Couch for sticking with it, battling through some tough decisions, and yeah, welcome.
Hello.
Couch, welcome. How are you feeling after that?
I'm all right. I just wish I would have checked some other stuff sooner.
Yeah, we were watching the whole time, and we were kind of holding our breaths, hoping you would do certain checks. Also, I don't know if you realize or not, but you misclicked while you were turning in the pan. You didn't actually give her the pan.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Go figure. What was there?
The pink tail.
Oh, go figure. Hey, that's what it's for. Gotta get used to the flags and everything, so it'll be all right.
Yeah, so first of all, GG's, and again, I was just saying when you popped in, sometimes in the flags, when the seed throws frustrating walls up at you and doesn't feel like the decisions are right, it's always really great to see someone power through and get through and take that boss down. So GG's on that, and on a very good Zeromus fight, I thought, using that power overwhelming exactly the way it needed to be used.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I felt good about the seed. I just didn't check the right places at the right time, pretty much.
Yeah, I might ask you about that in a second, but why don't you walk me through the overworld at the start and how you were feeling up until you got underground?
I felt great until I got underground and started like wandering.
Yeah, we clocked you as
Everything
a little
felt
bit,
like it flowed pretty smooth. So
yeah, we clocked you as a little bit ahead of Rex getting underground, not by much, a little bit, and it seemed like there was you bounced off the guards, which was a difficult fight, and then yeah, underground. The first thing I think you did was went to Feymarch. You saw the dolls and chose not to take them. Wondering why.
I thought about it at the time. I'm like, I'll come back later when I think I'm a little bit more leveled. I'm rusty. I haven't played this in almost 5 years. I've been playing offline and trying to de-rust, but there's still a lot on there.
Oh, hey, look, I'm not going to throw any shade. I am not good at this game. FBL did a great job setting up the legacy you have with Free Enterprise at the beginning. And it's okay to be rusty. I mean, I think it's really, I don't know, a little encouraging watching those sorts of things for myself. Were you intentionally fading all those checks in Sylph Cave? Was that like a decision? I don't want to deal with that. I want to go try to find my path elsewhere.
Yeah, so I don't know. I kind of do the chests all at once. If I have Pan, I'll go do Yang and Pan and all that. But if I don't have Pan, I'll do the chest checks. So I think it's kind of an older habit. Yeah.
Hey, like I said, I'm not here to sit in judgment. The treasury, how did that feel? We were saying it's T Pro treasury was by we, for reference, I mean FBL. We were saying T Pro treasury, how good is this going to be? And then I think it was quite good.
Oh yeah, no, that was a great treasury. I was excited when I opened all those chests and found some pretty good gear.
Yeah, but on the other end of that, you went through the Baron Castle, you went through the Tower of Zot, and then I don't believe you found anything of note at the end. So I think how did that one feel?
I mean, the whole seed felt pretty good. I felt I played pretty decent. I don't know. I think it just comes down to trying to learn the new routing and everything, and that rust is slowly coming off. But I noticed it when. I noticed it's getting there because the first few seats that I played, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's how I feel every time. Have you gotten a chance? Have you gotten a chance to play the other flag sets yet? Or the other asyncs yet? Or
I did the Mega Flare async, and I've been doing quite a few of the tsunami seeds, or the other one, the one that wasn't this one.
Zantetsuken.
Yes, thank you. I've been doing those ones, and I feel I'm doing pretty decent on those. I'm usually getting around like 45 minutes to an hour-ish. So
that's really good. How do you find the individual flag sets? Is there one you prefer, or?
I really don't have a preference, really. I think it's just a lot of flag sets, and I'm trying to remember all the rules for all of them, and I'm forgetting what I need to do on each flag set.
You know, Rex said the exact same thing and said for him it was, you know, I got to have those flags right in front of me as I'm going so I know what ones I'm doing. So definitely something that a lot of runners are finding with all those options on the table.
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, I haven't played in like 5 years. The game's completely different now than it was then, and there's a lot of flags, and new flag sets are always interesting to learn, and it feels good coming back and playing. So.
As far as I'm concerned, it's great to have you back.
Well, thank you.
Little bit of history. Couch is the first person to ever beat me in a in a tournament, which means my first tournament game.
Very
Way
nice.
back in the day.
I'm also the first person to unintentionally fade Antlion. It cost me the game.
We've both done that. So
That's a really far throwback. That's like 8 years ago, roughly. Yeah.
Feel like a child watching their grandparents jaw on about the good old days right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, but welcome back. It's really great to see you get running, and like I said, you ran really well. It's just some of where things popped up that got you. So
yeah, no, it definitely
GGs.
happens.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you. Like I said, it's really good to be back. It feels a little weird, but it's good. It's good hanging out with everybody, and I've been picking up stuff from hanging out in people's streams, so it's good to be back.
Hopefully we get to see you on Restream again soon. Anything you want to add, FPL?
just wishing you good luck in the final async that I assume you're going to run this weekend. And just want to remind you, definitely input your time, your async time into the async. It's easy to forget when you're doing live, but you still need to enter it there. Do I still have you? Am I still here?
You're still here.
Yeah, I'll say I heard you.
Okay. Okay, great.
All right, well, thanks again for joining us, Couch and GG's, on a really, really well-run race. And big thanks to Rex and Couch for agreeing to be restreamed as they run their Tsunami Open Async. FBL, tell us what's next for the tournament. So I think we've got another restream coming up.
Yeah, we have a restream on Sunday. That will be also the same flag set. It will be another Tsunami. It'll be another Tsunami Open. This will be Commander Leonhardt versus who is it? Flurry versus Flurry. So that'll be Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, or whatever. I guess it's 11 a.m. Pacific. Other math you can do, and then that will effectively be the end of this round of the tournament. Asyncs can be completed up until 5 p.m. Eastern that day, but that it's basically over at that point. We will then move on to the Falcon Cup portion, which is head-to-head races. During head-to-head races, players veto one of the 3 flag sets, such that they will not play it in their head-to-head races. They will play one of the other 2. If depending how vetoes work out, it may be a specific one that they end up playing in that setup. And
does everyone qualify for the head-to-head races?
Everyone qualifies for the head-to-head races, as long as you're playing now. You're still in the Falcon Cup. You're still in the head-to-head races. This is primarily a seeding round. Everyone will be seeded and put into individual groups. Groups and seeding and all that cool stuff will be hopefully revealed in a stream Sunday evening, though I can't absolutely guarantee that'll happen. It'll depend on availability of event team members. It may end up being more of a stream in Discord, just with some screen sharing, but we'll see how things work out. And then Falcon Cup head-to-head, as many races as we can restream as possible.
So there you go, folks. There's one more race to come in the Enterprise Cup Sunday afternoon, and then following that, you're going to see streams pop up for the Falcon Cup. As many as we can manage to get out onto the channel you're watching right now, twitch.tv/freeenterprise, as we are getting ready to bring you more Eidolon Express Grand Prix action in the days and weeks to come. I think that does it for us, FBL. Anything you want to add before we pitch
I'm pretty much good at this point. Except to say, I am so glad to have done this tonight. I'm glad. Thank you, Veritas Knight. You have been amazing commentary. Thank you, Beauty and Discovery, for restreaming, and thank you, Naricad, for doing some rather difficult tracking, but doing with style.
Absolutely. And big thanks to Couch and Wrexsoul for agreeing to be restreamed tonight, for delaying their async so that we could put on a show for you. A big thanks to the 45 people who stuck around through Couch's end of the seed, and to the 95 plus who are watching full at the maximum. If you're watching this later on YouTube, we see you too. I get it. VODs are great. Folks, join us on our Discord. Links are down below or in the chat, depending on where you're watching from. ff4fe.com if you want to get all our details or roll a seed yourself. We'll be back on Sunday with more Eidolon Express Grand Prix action. But for now, we are going to raid SNG_plays, who is currently practicing Mega Flare. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure, and we will see you next time.